This is part 13 of our response to Stephen Hargrave's message in the COGR's Revelation series.
And in the restoration, God has restored 12 thrones, the fullness of the Gentiles. And there's coming a day when all Gentiles that are saved will be gathered together. And Israel will remain blind until that fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Until the fullness, the 12 apostles that are Gentiles sit, and the Gentiles begin to come from the east, west, north, and south in a full gathering. It's just simply saying Israel will have this hardness of heart as a nation until the very end of the age, until the end of time, until at last the completeness of the fullness of the Gentiles is gathered together. And so all Israel shall be saved.
So my question is, where in the world do you find this in Scripture?
They will tell you it's the throne in Revelation with the 24 seats. They say that clearly was God's plan to have the 12 morning time apostles who are Jewish, and it's clear in Scripture in Revelation that his plan was to have 12 Gentile apostles at the end times.
Oh, yes, I'd like to suggest that clearly. The commentators don't necessarily agree with them. That the idea that they are going to occupy the last 12 thrones is a disputable contention. For that matter, who sits on the first 12 thrones is somewhat disputable. So there's no way that you can get to where Steve is without simply speculating. And again, 50 years ago, I was in a group that speculated their way out of salvation, most likely, and they certainly speculated themselves into the wilderness, literally. I don't think there's anything there that has any scriptural support to it.
Are you taking umbrage with the idea of 12 Gentile apostles?
Yes, them. Yeah.
Yeah, I never caught that in all my read-throughs either.
Say again?
I never caught that in my reading of the Bible either.
Yeah, well, it's not there. That'd be a good reason for it not to be caught.
I'm surprised that they do seem to be hugging this idea of 12 apostles, of a symmetry there. So at first they weren't necessarily saying there's anything special about 12, but now they keep saying 12 thrones and stuff as if, I mean, they have had an apostasy amongst the apostles already. And it's a difficult, for the same reason the New Testament struggled with it. Is it Matthias? Is it Judas? Is it Paul? How are we counting 12? Those lists change in all the Gospels. And here
Right.
There's every potential in the future that somebody's going to need to be replaced, or that new people will rise up. And this doctrine, this kind of theology is a little too specific to maintain.
Well, they do say that 12 is just a reference number, and that it just simply means government.
Or perfection.
So there could be
Yes.
more or fewer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it may or may not be that 12 is going to be an issue, but it is definitely an issue that there are no Gentile apostles that are going to come and bring out the fullness of the Gentiles. That's simply unsupportable. It just can't be done.
This concludes our response to Stephen Hargrave's message. Next, we're going to look at Ray Tinsman giving an explanation of the book of Revelation.
Disappointment is a bitter pill to swallow, paying back the hope I borrowed from someone I never knew. And it's a forfeit, humans in the suits of heroes, undressed by whispered conspiracies in quest for the truth. The truth is what I'm looking for. I don't get to choose the answers anymore. So tell me